Let's watch some of these real-life stories of Becky and Walter and how they got involved in culture impact teams. Let's watch.
Do you have pot shops in your city? Well, Becky, Jackie, and Scott had something to say about it when they tried to move into Yucca Valley.
If anybody wants to fight pot shops in their town, I think these are the things that are important. I mean, you got to be led by God first off. But second, if He stirs your heart and that's a passion that you have, social media is important. And then the other thing that helped me was going back on the history of the people that wanted to open the pot shops. Looking up their names, Google searching them. I mean, they were bringing people into our town who owned strip clubs all over in San Diego. This one guy was opening up illegal strip clubs in San Diego County. That's one of the men that they brought into our town council. Another one was just a big drug dealer that had just gotten busted. His name was everywhere. So all I would do on social media, on Facebook, was post those news articles. I didn't have to say a thing. I let the truth reveal itself. The city council hadn't heard from us. I mean, it just slid right by us. We didn't even know this was coming until that day in January. So since then, we now go to council meetings. I think since then I've only missed one town council meeting. And it's important to be involved. It's important to know what's happening so you're not caught blindsided. If we hadn't had our culture impact team in line for the last 4 years, we wouldn't have been successful doing this, because we wouldn't have known what to do or where to begin, but we had the resources because God had been preparing us. And I think for this, I really do.
Our church was amazing. We did flyers. Our pastor spoke from the pulpit against this bill, and everyone was picking up signs to put in their yards. Our color was yellow, and Yucca Valley was yellow. It was amazing.
And all the other churches rallied too, yes. Which it's the first time in our community that all the churches were together on one issue. Everybody had been silent. The town council was silent. They weren't taking a stand. Nobody was taking a stand. This isn't something that people need to be playing with or dabbling in. But there are so many people that were afraid to speak out against it though in the beginning, because they just didn't think it was the popular thing. They had a lot of advertising. They had a lot of radio. They bought a lot of radio time. But we never did. They had several signs on the highway, but if you got off that highway into the neighborhood, every house had our little no on Measure X signs. So they may have had the highway or the broad way. We had the narrow way. Everybody thought we were going to lose. And even the sheriff told me, he said, Becky, I want you to win with every fiber of my being, but I think it's going to be 60-40. And I said, God knows. It was 60-40, our favor. But you know what? It was all God. It wasn't anything we had done. We couldn't have done this. Anytime that God stirs your heart, He's going to equip you. He's never going to leave you. He's never going to forsake you. There were days that people would come up and they would park in front of my house with cameras, trying to intimidate me. But the thing is I was never fearful. I never was afraid. I never felt alone. At the end of the day, there's always that joy and knowing that He is in our victory is in Him, and to God be the glory. My culture impact team is Jackie and I lead it together, and Jackie's kind of the wind beneath my wings. She's my anchor. She's the organizer. She keeps everything on an agenda. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants, but I come up with ideas. I can get us indoors, but then usually she'll take over a lot of times when we meet with assemblymen or whatever. Our husbands are really supportive. That's really a big deal. Yeah, our husbands. But yeah, people come and go, and I mean, it's just a God thing. I went through everything I had gone through in my past just to get through this right now, and that's what God just showed me, that everything I did in my past didn't go to waste. He was going to use it right now.
Wonderful. A culture impact team may be made up of just 1 or 2 people. So we come in all sizes, all denominations. It doesn't make any difference. A team of 1 or 2 people can make a big difference in the community. I'd like to challenge large churches to start their culture impact team and begin to influence their culture. And this way you're able to help smaller churches. And this is exactly how I met Walter Bratton. One day he sought out our church because he knew that we had influence and we were working to make an impact in our own community. And we started to work together, and so now for many years, Walter and I have been in communication with one another, helping one another, and it's a big blessing for me to be able to serve some of the smaller churches in our community. So please meet Walter Bratton.
My personal concern is the black church, the African American church. If only we would use our voice and our strength to affect what's going on. If you have a passion to do something about the cultural impact in our society, you can get your church involved so we cannot just be bystanders, but participants in doing what we can to stop these things from going on and happening.
One of the many things I love about Walter is his determination to actively continue to educate himself and making sure that his pastor knows what's going on in our community and making it easy for him to respond to some of these cultural issues.
The church body generally as a whole, they have their lives to run, they have jobs and children and other obligations, and for many of them, they just don't have time to keep up with what the issues of the day are, and the issues especially that affects them as Christians and their church. And so as a cultural impact leader, I just have taken on the job of gathering the information and then disseminating the information to our membership so that they can become informed. So when those issues do come up on a ballot, say, or on some type of discussion, they have an idea of what the issue is all about. I just like to give them the best information I can to show them what the issue is about.
One of the things I really love about Walter is his heart. It's very evident that this man loves Jesus and he loves people.
Some of these issues that we're facing today, you know, I think I can't just be concerned about me and my life. I have to be concerned about, number one, my family, my children, my grandchildren, and even generations to come, my great-grandchildren who I may never see. And I want them to grow up in I just don't want my grandchildren to be in I don't want them to grow up in a godless society. And I want them to know that I did whatever, as much as I could, to help them live a Christian life and serve God in a positive manner.
Wow, some powerful stories, and I think Walter there really expresses the heart of the culture impact teams.
I think so, and that's with most of the culture impact team leaders that I meet. We all share the same heart.
And it's not just about us. It's about those that are around us. Everybody benefits when the culture is impacted positively, whether they follow Christ or not. But it really is about future generations.